lost all control. Gravity is all that I know. She's over me. She's over me. She comes with her hypnotic dance. She holds me here with only a glance. She's over me. She's over me. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this fine evening edition of Hump Day's Eve edition of the Paranormal Portal. I'm your host, Brent Thomas, and I'm absolutely thrilled that you're here with us, watching and participating in what could be the most amazing paranormal show in history. I said it could be. I don't know. It might not be, but I'm just saying it could be. What? Don't judge me, okay? All right. So the show is ready to go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, what could be possibly the greatest introduction in the history of all shows ever? I don't know. But welcome to the show tonight. We are, by we, I mean that I'm not alone here. I am joined by my good friend and co-host, Mr. Is your microphone working? No, it's not. I'm not queuing you in yet. You're not getting introduced yet, slacker. My camera got moved. You see that? See like this wall now behind me over here? Yeah, what's up with that? All right, I'm going to have to adjust that in a second, but let's see. My good friend and co-host joining me. Nothing yet? Not yet. He's not joining me yet. So this is an absolutely top-notch professional operation here, ladies and gentlemen. Actually, that what looks like technical difficulties is actually part of our entertainment value. This is entertaining. My good friend and co-host, Mr. Don Longbeard, is here.
Possibly the best co-host in the entire universe. Is right here.
Right. Yeah, it could possibly. Possibly. I don't know. You know?
No, Orange County girl, this happens a lot. This is part of our paranormal paradigm.
You are very quiet, though. Why is that so quiet?
I don't know.
Let me
how's this?
Much better.
But now I'm eating the microphone.
Well, you know, a man's got to eat.
I just ate, thanks.
Oh, well, that's one of us.
So here we are. Hump Day, and it just went out again. Hey.
No, there it is.
Yeah, it's been
Maybe it's
been
the resonance in your voice.
You know, I've been told I have a big voice. I speak from the diaphragm.
I've been told you're a big... Never mind. I'm just kidding. I didn't say it. I'm just, all for the sake of comedy, which is largely what these episodes are all about.
I only speak into the microphone. I don't speak like a microphone.
That's true. All right. Well, everybody, welcome to the show. Happy Hump Day's Eve. You're halfway through the week, over halfway through the week. There's 2 days left.
Just bring us down. You still got 2 days.
You still got 2 days, but right now we got tonight. Who needs tomorrow? Don't do it. Don was about to go full karaoke here. Now your mic died again.
Did it really? Oh gosh, what's going on?
I don't know, dude. You're haunted over there or something.
Well, You mentioned something last night about there was a dot in my spot.
There was a dot in your spot. I don't think it was last night. It was the other night. But there you go.
Oh, gracious.
There you are. Now you're back.
Don't move.
I'm not doing anything.
No,
I didn't even touch. Oh, you mean you?
Yeah. Just don't touch anything.
I mean, nobody's playing with cables and nothing changes between episodes.
Oops, I touched the air.
But yeah, this is Wednesday, Hump Day's Eve, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to have our Paranormal Mayhem episodes, which are kind of our free-form episodes, but I think it's really cool because we can all just kind of unwind. And, thank you all for all your compassion and love from last night's show. I've gotten lots of messages and stuff. I didn't mean for it to be such a tearjerker for me, and I didn't even know it was going to be, but it's just like... as soon as Mom and I had this chance to start talking about it, it was just like,
as soon as your mom opened her mouth and you just were like, wow, you were in your feels, and
I got all kinds of feels. Yeah, somebody dumped a bucket of feels all over me, and it was just like the hard part about that is when I cry, I'm just like one of those baby criers, like, but your throat tightens up, and you're like, I'm trying to talk, and you can't, and then, I'm just trying to push it away and keep it away because, I don't,
It's not what this show's for.
Well,
it is.
It is, and it's okay. I mean, I'm certainly not embarrassed by it because I think emotions are real. It's just a real part of us being emotional beings,
right, Exactly.
I'm not embarrassed by my tears. I think it's, it's a natural thing. And many of you have, of course, extended your hearts and you're caring towards me. And that really means the world. Thank you so much for that. It really wasn't tears of sadness. It's hard to explain. It's not even, I don't know. It's just the tears are probably just as much for, having had those experiences since my dad passed, have been very powerful for me, and they've been very healing for me in a lot of ways, and not because of the fact that he passed away. I mean, as I said, it was really the most graceful thing that could happen because he wasn't happy. He was miserable.
Right.
He was absolutely miserable, and so his passing was a mercy. And he said that, I just want to go. I don't want to live like this, because it wasn't him. But it's also in the fact that, all of those emotions from childhood on up are in that whole cycle of events. And in talking with my mom on the air, it was just all of a sudden all those things kind of rushed back. So, I don't know. But anyway, thank you guys for that, and I appreciate it. If you don't know what I'm talking about, then check out last night's episode. It's... I forget what I called it. Something about visitors from the past or whatever.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, but it's last night's episode. Forgive me. But thank you so much. And some of you have continued to talk with me and have an ongoing dialogue, and that's really sweet. I love that because, I mean, you guys are really, honestly, I don't know. I know a lot of shows and a lot of hosts say, hey, I love you guys, but I, honest to God, do feel like we are all connected on this show. I think that you guys out there along with us and here, we have this really cool bond, and it's something that I didn't create, nobody created. It's just this synergy, I guess, that we all seem to have, and this, this amazing energy. So, but thank you. I just wanted to take a moment to thank you all. That really meant a lot to me to see all those remarks and kindness and caring and concern, So,
hey, this is actually a great segue into giving shout-outs.
Let's do some shout-outs to our fam.
To right now, in our participants, we've got Ms. Blacktree. Hello, Julia. Dana Sizemore. We've got Deb. We've got Diana. Hi, Diana. Gemini, how are you? Coda, your dog is... an interesting thing. Got Hacker, it's what you make it. She had some really kind words for you last night as well. And again, already today, just saying, their emotions, just, And she said also your mom is gracious and strong. So there you go. Lady Death is here. Hi, lady. That Frankentop will last you for a while, I suppose. Matthew Learned, I believe he's one of our Aussie friends, isn't he, Matthew? Or is that Matt? Oh, well, whatever. Matthew, if I got that wrong, let me know, but I'll fix it. Got Orange County Girl in here. Oro, what's up, Oro? Haven't seen you in a while. Pam, Paranormal Portal, Patrick and Sarah and Travis and Zero Mind. So there you go. Those are our active participants tonight. And for those of you who are just listening, hi, how the heck are you? Glad you're here.
We're all thrilled to see you. I haven't seen Oro for a while. It's good to see you, brother. I mean, you may have been here, but I didn't know you were here until right now.
That's kind of my job.
It is.
Oh, I forgot Bigfoot, Michigan Rob.
Bigfoot, Michigan Rob. Good to see you. All of you. Thank you so much for being here. It's just really cool. Travis Pritchett. Is that a new name?
I have to admit, I think so. I don't know. But Travis, nice to see you.
Yeah, we're glad you're here too. We're all glad. Let's just have a happy dance. Group hug. Bring it in.
Hug.
Come on. All right. So anyway, we're going to do a Paranormal Mayhem episode tonight. Just talk about stuff. Just have a dialogue. Now, remember, the phone lines are open, and I should probably get them somewhere I can actually see them, right? Where the hell did they go? Oh, here it is. Yep. All right, I got to pull that off and move it over here.
Oh, Wes, how are you? Nice to see you, sir.
Mr. Germer's in here?
Yes, sir.
Oh, man, Wes. I'm so honored.
There's Duke.
The Duke is in here too?
So if Wes is the king and Duke is the Duke, does that make us the Earls?
I think we're still probably serfs, but we're working on it. we're working on it.
Wow.
Oh, it's great to see you all.
That's just amazing, though.
So I'm going to start off. Well, first of all, Don, how you been? Good?
Good, yeah. I got the paranormal pickup rolling down the road better, and the other backup vehicles running much, much better. Oh, goodness. But other than that, yeah, things are great. I gotta quit doing this thing. I think it was Orange County girl last night when I was in there. I said I got to get back to the grind, and she said, don't live for the grind. And I told her, I said, as soon as the portal blows up, I can quit my job.
Well, that's good.
I think so.
You don't understand, though. When the portal blows up, you're going to get a job. I'm going to wait in the safety of the car while Don goes and investigates the crypt.
Thank you, Mr. Biggins.
I've rubbed Don with bacon grease, and I'm going to send him out to see if there are indeed dogmen in the area.
Oh, yeah, thanks. I knew that one was coming. As soon as you said bacon grease, I was like, he's going to say dogman.
While I wait in the mobile command center.
which is actually a G5.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm just saying, be careful what you wish for. This could get stupid in a hurry, I'm telling you.
Let's check back in with Don while I get tacos.
I'm currently in the McDonald's drive-thru. However, Don is on location.
What the hell's going on? I can so see that.
Do you see how this is going to work, Don?
Yeah.
Are you sure you're excited for this?
And Diana says Don will definitely be portal bait. Yes, thanks to MCAT for throwing that one and have people catch it on. Portal bait. These conversations actually happened before that, so it makes total sense.
I know. I'm just bracing you for your future. I mean, you're going to earn that check.
Looking for bait. Are you willing to stand out and be Bigfoot bait? No.
Oh, no.
I don't want to be rubbed down with bacon grease either.
I didn't say I was doing the rubbing. I just said...
You said, I'm going to cover Don in bacon grease.
I'm going to have you rubbed down in bacon grease is what I said.
Oh, have me rubbed down.
If not, that's what I'm saying now in case there's any question. But, yeah.
Well, I'm just going to keep that one in my head.
That's the safest place for it, unfortunately.
He works hard for his money. Thank you, Diana. So you got some stories over there?
I don't know what I got, to be honest with you.
Hard for it, honey.
Oh, yeah. This sure as hell isn't karaoke night, though, so that can end now.
He works hard for his money.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Moving on. Moving on. Don has lost his microphone privileges for 5 minutes. And while he sits and thinks about it for a while, we're going to get into some news. Are you ready?
Sure.
Does your mic work now? Is it not working? Oh, is it working? Yeah, it's working.
Check. I just didn't want to spit my jug into it.
I'm just saying, that mute could happen any time. These technical difficulties can happen at any moment, Don. They're more likely every time you do karaoke here, though.
I just had another song fly through my head.
No, yeah, just keep it there along with your job description.
Kip Winger is all I have to say.
Okay. And what more is there to say?
She was only 17.
God bless it, man.
Okay, I got a hold of it.
You do?
Yeah.
All right, we can try this again, Don. But next time you're going out to your truck to think about it.
You've been banned to the paranormal pickup.
Don is remotely connecting.
Don's now dialing in on the open phone line, which happens to be 720-923-0500.
That's right. If you want to call in and be a part of the show, again, it's what is it, Don?
It is
720.
720-923-0500.
It is. And so if you guys want to call and be a part of it, that is how you can do it.
Oh, boy.
And let me move this. It's not a good.
Too much sun. Yes, I'm delirious from the sun.
That's all right. Everybody needs some sun. Maybe that's you're getting.
Maybe that's what the problem is.
You're just jacked up on vitamin D after this winter of hell. Yeah.
No doubt.
And now we'll head into the rainy season.
So you said paranormal news.
I'm looking for it. I don't know. Where the hell did I put it?
Oh.
Yeah, I've got a whole bunch of things. Oh, that's not good. I was trying to look at some images here, but that's a good one. Let's find that.
Oh.
What I'm really find fascinating is what?
Deb just requested Dancing Queen.
No, you did not, Deb. Or I'm about to start channeling a spirit up in here. It's going to resemble a demon.
Speaking of demons,
yeah.
Apparently flies are sent from demons to
torment
beleaguer people.
Oh, well, that's kind of that's a reference that's pretty much as old as time as far as
it comes from the plague of flies.
Well, sure. And there are accounts of people equating abnormal insect activity with the possibility of a demonic or dark presence, and that's possible, I guess. I don't know. I think it's more of a Hollywoodization than an actual thing, but I could be wrong. I don't know.
No, I think I agree. Because I was reading through celebrities that believe in ghosts today, and I'm like, really? She believes there's demons because she was attacked by flies in her car?
Well,
really?
Yeah, maybe she had a really good hair gel on or something. I don't know.
Probably. She could probably afford this.
Which one was that?
That was Ariana Grande.
Ariana Grande, yeah. I like when celebrities come out and say that kind of stuff. But here's the thing, I think that for the most part, I really honestly don't care what celebrities think about much of anything. And when people, feed off of, my favorite celebrity believes in this, so I have to too. I have a real problem with that because there's nothing elevated about these people, as in they are just people. Yeah. And their real skill in life is that they can pretend to be other people. And when you think about it, it's really that childish. And so to base your beliefs and your structure, your morals, your political ideologies off of these people that pretend, to me, is just, it's almost childish. It's like form your own opinion based on your research, based on your looking into this and deciding what you can agree with and what you can't. Not because, let's say, Ashton Kutcher believes something, then I have to believe it too. It's like, no, you might like to watch his movies, but for the most part, when those guys open their mouths when they're not pretending to be someone else, it's usually pretty disappointing.
Yeah, no doubt. It's funny. Gentry just said, that Dan Aykroyd believes in. He actually does. Yeah, he does paranormal investigations, and it's odd because I was just getting ready to. Well, I told you about this, getting ready to put up a segment regarding things like that. And he was going to be my first one because we've talked about him before. Yep. And his MIB encounter, I think it was with Britney Spears. He was talking on the phone with Britney Spears before his show. I'll get all that information. But yeah, I was reading about that. Apparently he had the ghost of Mama Cass jump in bed with him and cuddle.
Nice. Wasn't okay. Okay.
Yeah, so
I mean, that's cool.
And his father was also a paranormal investigator. He wrote a book. I can't remember the name of the book, but I knew this a long time ago. He's like third or fourth generation ghost hunter.
Oh, okay. Well, that's cool. I mean, and there again. I mean, I'm not saying that there are no celebrities that have any basis in reality.
Some that have more credibility than
right.
others.
I mean, but I've heard Dan Aykroyd interviewed, and,
Right.
and when he talks, he's not just talking out of his butt cheeks. You know,
Right.
I mean, he's actually done a whole bunch of research into things, and he's a very intelligent guy. And I'm not, I know there's other celebrities like that.
Right.
But my problem is when people base their entire identity off of what their favorite celebrities like.
You know, why am I not surprised? A hacker knows that Dan Aykroyd is now famous for his Crystal Skull vodka. How does that figure? I mean, hacker knows about vodka. You know what can I say?
Yeah, well, and that's cool. But I've heard him interviewed, and he said that he's made so much more money by a long shot off of his alcohol businesses than he ever did acting.
Yeah.
And I can believe that. I mean, that's a pretty steady income. Now, however, I will say that being a celebrity is probably conducive to really good sales just by association. I mean, look at Paul Newman. He's got he's got everything. He's like the Walmart of everything. He's got like salad dressing. I think he's got pet food, and I mean the guy's all over the place. But I think he's probably making a really good living off of that. And I think he leveraged most of it off of his celebrity, which, who can blame him?
Well, honestly, you look at some of these 80s bands, like Iron Maiden. Iron Maiden has Trooper beer, which is, it's Eddie's brand of beer. And then Metallica just put out their blackened whiskey.
Oh, did they?
And so I think...
that might be good. We should try it.
We might have to.
I like Metallica.
I liked Metallica. I think I watched a girl drum a Metallica song the other day that I liked better.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
she put Lars Ulrich to shame.
So. But and so I mean, a lot of people are leveraging their celebrity to make a side business, and. Yeah, I mean, it just makes sense. I mean, if you can do it,
Hey, Don.
Yes.
I can't see you.
I already got it lit.
You do?
Yeah.
Oh, it's not very bright. What?
Well,
or
it's
maybe
brighter than it was.
maybe I'm really too bright. I've got all kinds of white windows open.
But
so
thanks
it's
for carrying.
Well, I just like to see the sparkle in your eyes as you talk.
Yeah, Motorhead had something too. That's right.
Huh. Well, I think it's time for a paranormal booze.
Yeah.
Paranormal Portal port or something.
Well, and we'll have to have Hacker come up with that. I mean, I can, but I can brew my own vodka.
I
really can.
As a side note, Haxer,
a lot of
I always call him Haxer because he uses that X. But I tell you, and he sent us those bottles.
Barreled cream, yeah.
The barreled cream was just amazing. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this is his own brew. This is his own concoction, and it was freaking amazing.
It was awesome.
It was so amazing, and I'm telling you, brother, you gotta sell that stuff because I would be buying it. It's really that good. It was, and it's kind of a sipping liqueur, but I don't think we sipped it too much.
Yeah, no, I don't think there was sipping going on.
We kind of drank it a lot.
Hey, real quick shout out to Sarah. She's been doing really good lately, and I just want to recognize her for that. We're here to support you. So just
awesome,
FYI.
Sarah. Excellent.
FYI.
Very cool.
Oh no, Lady Death, are you having a problem with the computer? She says, I thought Don just jinxed the Frankentop.
Okay, the backstory on that, ladies and gentlemen, is Lady Death's laptop kind of looks like Eddie Van Halen's guitar. It's got like tape and stuff going all over it. It still works though, thank God, because we really missed her when she wasn't here. But welcome back. Has anyone looked into the strange case of Emily Segui?
Segui?
I don't know. Let's look into that.
Emily.
Are you doing it?
Of course I'm doing it. That's my job, right?
Well, so far.
Victorian?
Segui.
The woman who wasn't there.
Oh, let's look into this. Actually, let me just read this. Synopsis. Oh, this is an audio file. I don't want that.
You don't want that.
I want something.
And I just pulled up the same one.
Did you?
I'm like, dang it.
Hold on. So this is really interesting, though. Wow.
Spectral twin who haunted Emily Siggy.
All right. So here's.
Wow. Thanks, Les.
This is from. Yeah, really cool. Thank you. DidYouKnowFacts.com. 7 disturbing tales of people who met their doppelganger.
Oh.
All right. So
okay. Yeah, that's right up our alley.
Let me see if first of all, if she's listed here, because she came up on the list. Here it is. Emily Siggy. It says, was a teacher, and by all accounts, a good one, which makes it hard to understand why she held 19 different positions over 16 years. In 1845, however, her latest employer quickly discovered why she could never stick around for long. Her students reported seeing a double of their teacher at the front of the room, with the ghost mirroring Siggy's movements as she taught, walked, and even ate. You can imagine that it would be quite a distraction for a bunch of kids, but oddly enough, Siggy herself never saw her own doppelganger. She did, however, report that the spirit seemed to be doing things that she was thinking about in the moment it was sighted. That's curious. And it says, when the doppelganger began to venture beyond the woman herself, her students grew more bold. They approached and even walked through the spirit, which they said was like attempting to penetrate thick fabric.
Wow.
Despite the woman's credentials, she was let go as the apparition became a common and distracting sight on the school grounds. Wow.
This here says the first appearance of the doppelganger was in a classroom. 13 students said that as Emily was teaching, her doppelganger appeared right at her side and imitated all of her movements. Though everyone in the room could see the specter, Emily apparently could not.
Did you not hear me just read that very thing?
Did I really? Did you? Wow. No.
What show are you on, Don?
Apparently, I'm your doppelganger. Wow. Okay. Yeah. Sorry.
Oh my! No, that's it. I just exactly.
Was that exactly what it was?
Well, I mean,
we're
it was
reading two different websites.
It was phrased a little different, but yeah, very
about,
wild.
One about sitting in her chair as well.
No, I didn't get to any sitting in her chair.
Apparently, it was sitting in her chair at the head of the classroom while she was outside in the garden. Some brave students attempted to touch the apparition. Their hand passed through there. So, yeah, you mentioned they tried to walk through.
Yeah, I got the walkthrough part, but yeah, that's really wild.
While the class went on walks, trailing behind the group at a distance, in the doorways, perceptible all without distinction of age or sex, except, of course, for Siggy herself. Interesting. That's
really
crazy.
Interesting. That is real crazy. But now, as long as we're on that topic, let's cover the other 6 that are in this list.
Yeah, let's.
Queen Elizabeth I. That this level-headed queen wasn't one to dabble with the paranormal only makes her claim that she saw her own double more convincing. According to Queen Elizabeth, she saw herself lying motionless on her bed, almost like a corpse. She died soon after the experience.
Ooh.
Now, I got to tell you, if I saw my double laying in bed, I would already think I was dead. I was like, oh, my God.
Experience kind of thing, yeah.
And I'd be like, well, that didn't hurt at all. Because, I mean, you think about dying, it's like, well, what does that feel like? Does it really suck? What is that experience like?
Imagine.
Well, I mean, but some people die in their sleep and,
true,
I mean, some people pass peacefully and
some people, like my Uncle Joe, passed in the bus while he was driving it.
I hope nobody minded.
I don't think anybody could hear over the screams of everybody else.
Is that a true story?
No.
Oh, God. Thank God. All right. Well,
I'm sure it's happened somewhere. There have been plenty of,
Well, I just watched a video the other day of the bus driver had a stroke.
Oh.
And he just went sideways, and all of a sudden people are flying up from the bus, like trying to drive it and stuff. And yeah, I mean, I guess everybody was okay. And apparently the guy lived, but he had a stroke, and he just went sideways in the chair, and nobody was driving. And all of a sudden you can tell the bus hit the side rail of the highway and stuff. It's like, oh my God. So apparently that has kind of happened.
Yeah. Duke says in the case of Queen Elizabeth, it might have been more of a banshee. It is the right general area for that kind of
phenomena.
Yes, thank you.
No problem. I'm here all night, Don. I'm here for you. Oh, you're just dying for a mute. The next one is Sir Frederick Carne-Roche. It was 1906, and Sir Frederick Carne-Roche was ill and in bed with the flu when fellow Parliament members Sir Gilbert Parker spotted him sitting nearby during a debate on the floor. Parker was surprised, but greeted his co-worker and told him he'd hoped he was feeling better. He received no response, and when he looked again a moment later, Roche was gone. He told of the incident, and Roche was initially amused, saying that he had very much wanted to attend the debates, so it made sense that he had subconsciously sent his spirit to do just that. He was less amused during the following months, during which his fellow Parliament members poked and prodded him to convince themselves that Roche was not a ghost. Wild. He laid the matter to rest with a sarcastic letter to the local newspaper, apologizing for not having the good sense to die at the time of the doppelganger sighting, and promised to behave better next time. That's good. At least he had a little fun with it. The next one is Percy Shelley. A lot of these names I'm not familiar with. But you may not know him, which that's perfect because I don't.
Oh, that's Mary Shelley's husband.
Well, you definitely know his wife, renowned horror author Mary Shelley. Percy confessed to her that he had seen his own personage on more than one occasion, and was particularly unsettled, as one would be, after one spoke to him, asking, "How long do you mean to be content?" What? Wow. To lend credence to the account, Percy's double was witnessed by Mary's close friend Jane Williams as it passed by her window while the man himself was asleep in bed.
Wow.
Percy drowned in a sailing accident not long after he told his wife about these disturbing experiences. So it does appear to be like a foreboding, though, right?
It seems like it, yeah.
So Barry says, coming soon to Paranormal Portal, Phantom of the Paranormal Portal.
God, no. There's too many of us already here. This room is getting full, apparently.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's like a whole seating section that we're not aware of. We
actually have a studio audience on the other side.
Yeah, and they keep playing with your microphone.
Apparently so.
All right, the next one is George Tryon. On June 22nd, 1893, Vice Admiral George Tryon made a grave error while commanding 2 columns of ships off the coast of Syria. His lapse in judgment caused the death of 357 men, including himself.
Wow.
At the same time, Vice Admiral appeared in full uniform at a dinner party his wife was hosting at their London home. He walked silently down the staircase and through the drawing room. He opened the door as if to leave and disappeared.
I see a call.
You do? There is a call.
There's a call from Arizona.
There's a call from Arizona. Let's see what's going on in Arizona, ladies and gentlemen. This is area code 480, Arizona. You are on the air.
Hey, Brent.
Hey.
Hi, Don, the lovely assistant. Anyways, this is Jess.
Don is my Vanna White.
Yeah. I wanted to
Jess,
say hi to Don and all that. And I did have a question for your lovely assistant there. You're super cool.
By all
assistant.
means. Okay, go ahead.
Don, besides the fact that it sometimes hisses in there at you and your hand does strange things. Besides all that, I was wondering, do you get any people that passed on, any visitations in your dreams of people that passed on?
No, as a matter of fact, I don't ever believe I've actually had a quote-unquote paranormal experience. I've had kind of maybe what could be considered like prophetic dreams, but I believe that I speak myself into my own reality. So whatever I say is what manifests.
Oh, wow.
So, because like for a real easy example would be, I'm not getting sick. And I'll never say I am getting sick. I'll say I'm not getting sick. And I don't get sick very often. But when I do, I turn into a little baby. But no, I'm horrible.
What man doesn't?
But no, I would not say I've ever been visited by passed on loved ones. I'd never say I'd, woke up and saw, a shadow in the corner. things that couldn't easily be explained. I mean, yes, I've woke up, I've had like my bathrobes hanging on my closet door, and I've woke up and I went, what the hell's that? But, I mean, I know what it is. It's like, it just took me by surprise, so no, I would have to say no, I've never had those kinds of experiences. And that's part of the appeal of me being on the show.
No tales from the basement?
Well, that's different.
Nothing leaves the basement. Nothing leaves the basement to tell the tale.
Yeah,
no prophetic dreams about your hand?
No, the hand attacks mysteriously. I have no control over that. It's crazy. It's the craziest thing in my life, I swear to God. The craziest. No, things go in the basement to go in the freezer. If you don't know this, I have a 5-family freezer. At least I have 2 actually in my basement. Nothing leaves my basement. Yeah.
I hope you're not sticking 5 families in there now.
Well,
5-family freezer. That sounds creepy.
Let's just say
once you bone them out, they're pretty. No,
yeah, they're kind of floppy. But no, Jess, seriously, I've never had, Diana says, plead the 5th, Don, plead the 5th. I can neither confirm
I'm not
nor
in the
deny.
chat. I got done with work and I thought I'd surprise y'all.
Well, that's wonderful.
That's
good.
Awesome. Thank you. But yeah, I'd say no.
Hey,
I've never had
and
it.
I also want to commend you, Don, for supporting him in the chat yesterday when Brent got emotional and stuff.
Yeah. And,
That's got to be rough,
Yeah, and
losing somebody you love like that,
Yeah. And that's another thing I haven't really experienced either. My grandma passed when I was 4 or 5, and I really haven't lost anybody else. So, I guess I'm kind of lucky in that sense, but I know it'll come. It's going to be coming.
Yeah. Hey, I've learned to deal with grief since I was a child. So that's how I was like 12.
Oh.
Yeah.
Like between the ages of 9 and 12, first, the dog was old and they put him to sleep, and then my granny passed away, and then my grandma passed away. That type of thing.
I'm sorry to hear that, but
that was a long time ago. I was like between the ages of like,
you said 12.
Like I want to say 8 or 9 or 12. 12 with my grandma. I was really close to her. Granny, I might have been maybe 9, and dog, I might have been 8.
Right.
I'm trying to remember, but 12 I remember,
right.
Or 11 or 12 I remember with grandma.
Yeah, like I said, I've never really had those experiences, and when Brent talks about the subject matters last night, and I just want to make sure that he knows that I'm here for him. So
sure,
and it's always
that was I just want to give a shout out, and I thought that was really nice of you and cool, since you've never been through anything quite like that.
I'm gonna have
Sounds
to.
Like.
I have to admit to maybe being a part, a somewhat empathic. I pick up on people's feelings really easily.
Mm-hmm.
I know when they're upset or angry or grieving in some cases. Whatever. Especially with people I know very well. Yeah. So, I think it's both a curse and a blessing, because when I know when I make people mad, so it's a blessing in that sense. I'm like, well, okay, see, I'm out of here.
Put it this way, you'll either deal with it earlier or way later.
Right. So but
I know how to deal with grief at an early age, because I've had to learn how to cope.
Well, and I'm a Capricorn too, so I'm really good at compartmentalizing, my feelings in the way, and not showing them. There is a point. There's probably been a couple times.
But you know what? Everybody's human. Guys should be allowed to be sad and cry and stuff.
Right.
I'm going to say that.
Sure. Yeah.
Because it needs to be said.
Right. Oh, what was
That's very sweet.
I was trying to remember a conversation I was having with somebody the other day, but yeah, it's all those things, I think I'm
just saying, in society, I think it's time.
Right.
Let women get mad and let men feel sad.
Right.
You know.
Right.
That type of-
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, Orange County girl asked, Don, do you believe in zodiac stuff? I have to say yeah, because Brent's a Taurus. He's obviously a Taurus, and I'm a Capricorn. I'm a
That's no
hard-headed
bull.
Capricorn male. No,
Ain't no bull. His
no.
birthday's coming up.
It's a whole bunch of bull.
Ooh, it is.
The milestone.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. Yeah. You're coming up to that.
Yeah, your
age.
milestone.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe somebody will surprise you, Brent. Maybe your dad will surprise you somehow.
Oh,
You
That'd be
never
cool.
know. I've been surprised plenty by what he's been doing already. So
there you go.
I know. I'm just saying.
yeah.
I'm just saying. You never know. Who will
Yep,
pop
yep.
in?
So
That's awesome.
yeah. So, but
Well,
thanks for your question.
Well,
and
take
thanks for
care,
calling
and
in.
thanks for answering my
Yeah.
question, Donna. I just wanted to say hi and peace out.
Excellent. Well, thank you, ma'am, and we will talk to you later.
All right, my
And
lady.
yes, I do believe in the zodiac too.
Excellent.
Just
Yeah.
in case anybody was asking
Right.
me.
Sure.
Sure,
All right.
absolutely.
All right.
All right,
Jess,
thanks, Jess.
Thanks so much.
All right.
Good night.
Bye.
So,
Take care.
So a couple, maybe it was 2 months ago. We got into somebody asked me what my moon sign or what my moon sign was, and we found out that my moon is in Pisces.
Well, what was mine? Did you remember? I don't remember that either.
I don't remember looking.
I didn't
yours
even.
up.
I remember that discussion, but I don't understand a lot about that astrology stuff. So
Moon signs. Let's see, calculator. I was waiting for Jackie Stallone to pop up.
what?
Jackie Stallone, Sylvester Stallone's
Oh.
mom is a numerologist.
Oh, right.
So let's see here.
Okay.
So, 1st of May.
Well, let me finish this.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
This list. I gotta find the tab it was on now. I've gone and okay. Here we go. The next one on the list of doppelganger experiences was Catherine the Great. The powerful 18th century Russian empress was not the type of woman to be fazed by seeing her own ghost sitting on her throne. In fact, when servants ran to wake her with the news that they'd just seen her enter the throne room and take a seat, she calmly investigated. She found the claims to be true. She saw herself with her own eyes and coolly requested that her guards shoot the imposter.
Wow. Okay. Wow.
The history books don't tell what the effect of the bullets had on the spirit, but Catherine herself died mere weeks later. So that is like a bad thing if you see your own doppelganger. I mean, not always, but in these cases,
it's
not good.
Yeah, it's a harbinger of sorrow. That's for sure.
Right? Yeah, absolutely. All right. Here's number 7 is Abraham Lincoln. The first time Lincoln saw his own doppelganger, it was the night of his first election. He was sitting on the couch and happened to glance into the mirror where he saw himself and a second face, also his. The second Lincoln was pale and ghostly and disappeared when the new president stood. Yikes. His wife was hysterical, sure that it was bad news, a certain sign that Lincoln would not survive the presidency.
Well,
Now, I think Mary Todd was very much into the spirituality stuff.
yeah.
I think they used to have seances and stuff, right?
Well, I know for a fact that she had it's a very famous photo too of her doing a photo shoot, a sitting for a photo at that time, and there was supposedly an apparition behind her that looked like Abraham Lincoln, and I do believe she believed that that's what it was. So, but I know that because that was before the real heavy spiritualism movement, because that was closer to 1920s, getting into the 30s when that really got fired up. Of course, we're talking about like 1864, 5, right in there. Actually, his first presidency would have been like 62.
Okay.
But it's interesting that, she had the premonition that he wouldn't last the presidency because he was killed in his second term. And
right.
And this he saw, before or just as he became the president in his first term.
Right. Wes says the only one that matters as far as astrological signs are Pisces Everyone else is nuts.
I know a lot of Pisces.
There's a lot of Pisces about.
So,
They're good in beer batter. Just saying.
and it's usually me making food references.
Oh, I'm hungry though. I haven't eaten yet today. You already ate, so.
I did. Yeah, I had Taco Bell.
I'm just thinking of a walleye fish fry right now.
Oh, you know, there's a bounty on walleyes here in Idaho this year.
What do you mean bounty?
There are people, you take them to Fish and Game, and they'll give you money for them.
Why?
Apparently, they're just invasive this year.
Oh, I'd love to go collect that bounty and
Well,
some fillets.
But the thing is I think, you know, you go fishing, fish is food. Why sell your food to somebody who's not going to do
Oh, you mean
anything?
they want to keep them then?
Yeah.
Oh man, they got a racket going on. They're
Oh,
probably
yeah, they do.
they're probably like supplying restaurants.
Probably.
Give you $5 for that 15 pounds of walleye.
Yeah, no doubt. $5, I'm going to turn around and sell it for 40.
Yeah, I know. That's got to be a racket. Something's going on.
Lady Death's a Libra.
My birthday is May 1st.
By the
1st of
way,
May.
your moon sign is in Gemini.
What's going on? I saw $1,000. What's going on with $1,000?
What? $1,000?
I saw a dollar sign signal, and they're like, "Ding!" What? I don't think.
What?
I don't know. I have no idea. Julie was talking about something for $1,000,
I don't know.
but I don't know.
Oh, probably the bounty.
Wow.
But $1,000 per fish, maybe $1,000 for like, you know,
Yeah.
50. No, not it.
God, I'm just
Yeah, I'd be
screw the portal. We're going fishing.
Well, screw it. I don't need to work no more.
Just kidding. I love the portal.
That's funny.
All right, so let's find some more stuff, shall we?
Oh yeah, hold on a sec.
I'm waiting for Duke.
So waiting for Duke.
Duke. He's
Won't do it.
pulling something together.
He always does. He's just amazing as a contributor.
Oh yeah, Duke's great.
It says your moon sign is Gemini. You're a lover of people and a giver of yourself to so many. Sociable and talkative, you can bring light and life to any gathering. You are truly a social butterfly. It's important that those you care for are able to communicate freely with you, and you must, in turn, feel able to express your thoughts and ideas. Your partner must understand your needs of sensitive and loving conversation, and should ideally be an intellectual equal. They should be able to complete you and be your celestial twin. Interesting.
You know, that's most of that is not right.
You know, that's what I said about my moon in Pisces too.
I know. Because you know, I can be social, of course. I can, you know, be friendly and talkative and stuff. But if I have my own druthers, it's like
leave me the hell alone.
Yeah, I isolate, and it's not because I'm intimidated by social contact. It's just because I'd rather just be hanging out doing my own thing. You know, and whenever you're in a social situation, you feel like you have to, you have to, I don't know, extend yourself so much. And I guess being, an empath and stuff, maybe that's why I just avoid crowds every chance I can. Not that there aren't wonderful people out there. That's certainly not my suggestion, but I just feel like I'm so drained after social activities.
I agree. It's a mental challenge to really have to put up with people. So, in general, if they're friends, like if we ever really did, Duke or Wes, he says most celebrities and actors are Pisces. Not sure if that's a good thing. I agree. They're a bunch of wishy-washies. But what the hell was I saying?
Oh, Sarah, thank you so much. Scorpio is the best. Oh, even Deb knows this, and she's psychic.
Thank you, Sarah. We appreciate that.
That's so sweet.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much. That's really cool.
Yeah, I forgot where I was going with that.
Yeah, I don't know. There, we're usually circling the drain around here anyway. So, all right. So that was that list, and thanks, Wes, for that tip about doppelgangers. I had never heard that name before, but that's really really cool. I did want to talk about. No, I had something pulled up here that sounded really interesting. Let me see if I can find it. Psychology, the truth about the paranormal. I don't think I want to read that.
Yeah, we don't want anybody trying to debunk us.
They do mention World War II and Winston Churchill protective shields. Psychology studying religion have long suspected the belief in the paranormal can be a kind of shield from the even harsher truths of the world. Yeah, I'm done with that article.
Yeah.
It's just
Get
like,
out of there.
I can't cope with reality, so I have to make one up. Yeah, whatever, people.
Oh, you were talking about, I thought I just saw a shadow walk behind me in my screen.
Really? Well, they're supposed to be over in that corner, Don. I'm just saying.
Why? Break out the sage. Put it right in the
Must
corner.
be because the Ouija board is
The Ouija
back
board's
there.
There's a conduit right behind your head.
Don, there's an open portal right behind your head.
Don't say open, because I know you know how to close them. So stop
yeah.
it.
No, that Ouija board has never been used. It's right out of the box and on the wall.
Yeah. Now I forgot what else I was saying, but yeah, it kind of took me by surprise. I thought I saw a shadow. Oh well, Sakura Blue.
Here's something about vampires.
Oh.
The vampire Balthazar and Ashanetson and friends. Vampires seem to be everywhere, dominating nearly every medium, movies, books, and even television. They're popular, sexy, and hordes of women find themselves forlorn over the fact that they cannot find their own Edward Cullen to fall in love
I was
with.
going to say sparkle.
It's like, wow, shiny vampires. ABC's 2020 did a story on a world of real-life vampires, people who claim they suffer from a psychological condition that prevents them from creating enough of this essential daily energies to get them through even the basic tasks. How do they get this energy? They drank blood. And there's an entire widespread secretive society that practices this belief, headed by a man who goes by the name of Balthazar Ashanteson. I don't know. Yeah. I don't think they're like killing people. They're just like...
No, you're killing the name.
I am. I butcher this language all the time. So, let's see. So, here's the thing. Now, that's just a counterculture to me.
Right.
That is not vampirism. That's not anything to do with
Anton LaVey style.
Right. It's just a I don't know. It's just people being different, I guess. Gluing sharp teeth on your own teeth and wearing contacts and stuff does not make you a vampire. Even dressing all in black and being nocturnal doesn't make you a vampire. That's just not it at all. And I don't know. That kind of stuff really, I mean, it's fine to have your own thing, but I would suggest vitamins for these people. Just
an iron supplement,
right? One a day, and some juice. You might do a little better, but
you won't look so anemic.
Yeah, exactly. But these people trying to impress on people that we are vampires. Well, no, you're not. You're a person that is adopting a counterculture to make some kind of statement, or just to find an identity. And I'm not disparaging these people. That's fine. Do whatever you want. If drinking blood it makes you feel cool, then good luck with that. I don't know, but it's not vampirism. It's not, it's not going to create, supernatural identity.
You're not going to have super speed.
Ooh, here's one.
You're not. Ooh.
This one looks kind of tough. It says this one has to do with the seance. All right. So this is just some real paranormal cases. And this one is Estefania Gutierrez performed a seance in an attempt to contact a classmate who died in a biking accident. A teacher interrupted the ritual, and a mysterious trail of smoke reportedly went up Gutierrez's nose and mouth, and shortly after, the teen began experiencing seizures and hallucinations, and Gutierrez saw evil shadows and would occasionally bark at her brothers. Doctors couldn't find anything physically wrong with her, and she died in her sleep 6 months after the seance. Her parents began experiencing strange paranormal happenings in their home, notably doors slamming and electrical appliances switched on and off. The police, after seeing a door open with no explanation, as well as a crucifix with Jesus separated from the cross, described the case as a situation of mystery and rarity.
That is the basis of the movie Veronica.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's what that is.
Okay.
Were they in school when they?
Yeah,
Did it mention?
yeah, because the teacher interrupted it.
Yeah, that's the story of Veronica that's on Netflix, I believe it is. It's the basis of that. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, very, very wild though. Does Duke have the new number? I think he does, right? Is he in the chat?
720-923-0500.
Okay.
720-923-0500. He is in the chat.
What did he say? Anyone ever heard of the deer woman?
The deer woman?
I had a truck driver see one and wasn't sure what he was talking about until every Native American this side of the Mississippi contacted me to say it's a real thing. Wow. No, but Duke is apparently aware of it. So.
Well, that's actually Wes that said that.
No, I know, but Duke responded and saying
did he?
that he hadn't heard that for a long time.
Yeah.
That's really wild. I've never heard of the deer woman, but I assume it. Here we go. Let's see. Hey, Duke, you're on the air. Hello?
Yeah.
Oh.
There he is.
There he is. He's there. Welcome to the show, brother. How you doing?
Getting a connection here.
Oh, okay.
I have trouble getting the connection. I'm down in the dungeon where
You're in the dungeon. You got a dungeon too, huh? I don't know if I think it was really lagging, so I don't know. Are you still there, or did we kind of lose you now?
We're getting bits of him.
Yeah, we're getting parts and pieces.
Can you guys hear me?
Now I can hear you. There you are. Welcome to the show.
Yeah, sorry, I got a bad connection down here where the laptop is. I'm trying to get this report up.
Oh, cool. Very cool.
So, yeah, guess what? Got a Gugly report. It's not recent, but it's recent to me because I just... And this was sent in from Alberta, Canada.
Oh, wow. Okay. How long ago was it? Uh-oh. I think he's in and out again. Those darn connections.
Yeah, I read that he posted in his MeWe that he got 2 days ago. He got a report from Ontario or Alberta. I can't remember, about a Gugwe. So, yeah, it's gosh.
I can't wait to hear it.
Now we're on the edge of our seats.
Yeah, absolutely. I hope this connection clears up. I'm not sure.
You guys hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Yep.
Hello?
Yes, sir. We're here. Nope, he dropped. It just dropped now. Duke, I'm sorry, but call in again, please. We'll keep this rolling. In the meantime, but I'll be watching for your call. I can't wait to hear that. Googlies are freaky. They are just freaky things, and you know, I got to admit that the term Googly is newer to me. I mean, I knew of the Type 4s with the longer snouts and stuff. I guess I didn't really correlate to what a Googly was, but I got to tell you, since we've had Duke on the show and since we've been talking to him, I think I've learned more about these intricacies of the Sasquatching than ever before. That's really amazing. But hopefully he'll be able to reconnect with us and we'll get those reports. But those, as I understand it, are like the most aggressive types.
Yeah, I was going to ask, is that a Type 3 or 4? And obviously it's 1 being the less aggressive and 4 being the most aggressive. So, yeah.
You know, I wonder if that's the case with the. I don't know that that's the case.
Or is it a body typing?
Yeah, well, that's as I understand it. It's a body typing. I don't think it's a behavioral typing, but in that case, it does. It might be though, because the patty types are Type 1.
Right.
The boogers from the south, are more aggressive, and that's the Type 2. Type 3s, I don't know offhand what examples they would have but once we get Duke on, we can sure ask him because he'll know. And then the Type 4s are the Googway types, which are, these the like baboon snouted, really angry ones that really throw fits. And I think that was the type that he was telling us that story of that lady in Alaska who was walking and they were being trailed by a juvenile Bigfoot, and they hit that point and that Googway jumped out and just shredded that littler one. And it's just like, oh my God.
Apparently, Lady Death is researching as we go. She
Oh,
says
cool.
she's got like 40 tabs open. she'll have like 40 tabs open by the end of the show.
You know, yeah, I love that about tabs, but then I get lost in them. It's like, where was that one now?
It's like I was looking at somebody's phone. I'm like, how do you have 40 tabs open on your phone? No wonder your phone doesn't work.
I'm going to look up this deer woman
Seriously,
that Wes
it's
was
at
talking
40.
about.
Yeah, definitely.
Deer woman experiences. See if we can find something about it. Menacing fertility spirit of the Oklahoma tribes. Okay, let's pull this up. I want to know a little more about this because that's really fascinating. I wish it would have some kind of depiction.
Yeah, Wes will do that. We'll ask about that.
What did he say?
Wes says, ask Duke to tell the story on how these types came about.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Or, Mr. West, you could certainly call it.
Yeah, 720-923-0500. Call us now and join us live on the air.
No pressure, of course.
No, but I am interested about this deer woman because I think one of the things that I find the most fascinating is the fact that there is so much we don't know. Mm-hmm. And, coming from having a passion for the paranormal, but not a whole lot of knowledge in, my distant past. And, I'm still learning so much all of the time. It's like you'd almost think people never went outside because,
right.
I mean, how could so many things be going on that we just don't know about? That's what's amazing to me.
It's that continual game of hide and seek.
Right.
And guess who's winning?
Well, right. And the fact that, most people don't know how to be outside, like truly out in the wild places. We're good with national parks and campgrounds and stuff, but
we shouldn't be, according to David Paulides.
Well, yeah, that's a whole nother can of worms there. But the idea is that if it's civilized, we'll go there. But mm-hmm. there's very few people that will break beyond that barrier and go out to the wild places like a Les Stroud or, those kind of people that go out and they're really beyond the reach of any technology or help. And the things that they experience is just phenomenal. And not everybody, of course, but because they still stay hidden. I wish Duke could connect. What are missing you, Mr. Duke?
So, do you got anything over there about the deer?
Yeah, I do. Well, it says the deer woman is a spirit of the eastern woodland and central plains tribes associated with fertility and love. Like many Native American spirits, deer woman is sometimes depicted in animal form, other times in human form, and sometimes as a mixture between the two. Although deer woman is usually considered a benign spirit who might help women conceive children, some stories portray her as more dangerous being who might seduce men, especially adulterous and promiscuous men, and either lead them to their deaths or leave them to pine away from love sickness. Among contemporary Native American people of Oklahoma, deer woman often plays a boogeyman sort of role, said to trample incautious people to death, especially girl-crazy young men or disobedient children. Some people say that this more violent version of the deer woman is actually a human woman who either transformed into a deer after being taken advantage of, or was brought back to life by the original deer woman spirit after being murdered. Others say she is the same old deer woman and just has a few good reasons to be in a worse mood these days.
Wow.
I'd love to hear these encounters though of such a thing. That to me is really cool.
Nine Lord. Hi, Nine Lord. How are you? First time we've seen you in the chat. Nice to see you. He says personally in my tribe, Ojibwe,
Chippewa.
Chippewa. I know that one. We have a legend about these creatures that resemble some kind of dark-spirited, sharp-claw being, animalistic type entity. So interesting.
It is, yeah. That is interesting. But I'd love to know the name that you guys had for it, Nine Lord, if you don't mind. Could you put that in the chat? Because, of course, I'm familiar with the Wendigo and the many depictions. That seems to have so many depictions of what people say it appears as. But If there's a name that your tribe used. Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah.
So yeah, I'd love to know some more of these stories. Now it says there's some stories here. In the myth of Dreamtime. This is Dear Lady from Wikipedia. I don't think I'm going to waste time with that.
Just check the sites. Don't actually read it. Just check the sites.
Yeah. But call in, Duke, if you can. We want to hear those reports if you could. I have a feeling he may be relocating the laptop to a more
conducive area.
Yeah, more receptive.
Other than the dungeon.
Other than the dungeon, yeah. I don't know. There's not any bad weather going on, though, right? So, I mean, it's not like weather-related kind of reception issues.
Well, I don't know about over there. I mean, he is only like 400 miles away, but
right.
So I think they're having good weather over there. But he is in the Bitterroots, so that's always an iffy place sometimes.
Yeah.
Okay. Princess Mononoke. Yes, we remember the movie.
What was that?
Oro said that there was a spirit in the movie Mononoke, Princess Mononoke, that was a shadow walker, called a shadow walker. And Lady Death says, I bet no one remembers that movie. I do.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. That's interesting. But yeah, I don't, I mean, I can see a bunch of
cannibalistic entity called Iskijo.
What are you reading?
Barry in the chat said something about that. I'll have to look that up, but I'm sorry.
Okay, no, go ahead. I'm just looking if there's any links we can find to any encounters with this dear woman. I'd love to hear about it, though. That's really cool. I love it when new things pop up, and not for any other reason that I got to close some of those windows that I got open from earlier. But there was another thing that I really wanted to read.
Wes says, hard for Duke to get Wi-Fi in his bat cave. I bet. I understand.
That is tough. I mean, but that's the trade-off, right, ladies and gentlemen? You live someplace beautiful and remote, but then you're kind of cut off in a lot of ways.
Well, that's a lot of my problem is out where I live. I can't get any decent internet service.
I know, but your neighbor can.
Don't remind me of that.
So Don's neighbor is like 100 feet away, and he gets broadband, and they can't bring it to Don's house. They said it's not possible. That's just, I mean, I don't mean to laugh at you, but my God, I mean, you could throw a stick and hit your neighbor's house if you had a really good arm. But
yeah, exactly.
I mean, it's not like it's 5 miles away. Your neighbor's just a ways away.
Yeah, I mean, he's on the half side of the 20 acres, but it is frustrating. And what's really frustrating is that line that services, like our friend Betty Broomsticks lives out that way too, and they get service from this particular place, but somehow it goes right past my house to their house, and so they can get it on both sides of me, but I can't get anything.
Yeah,
I can't.
That's so wrong.
It makes me so mad.
Let's see. This is a family in Rhode Island was possessed by spirits. Yikes! Now this is very quick. This is just a little blurb. It says Roger and Carol Perrone lived in Rhode Island home with their 5 children. The eldest daughter, Andrea Perrone, says that spirits who smelled like rotting flesh came and lifted the family's bed every day at 5:15 a.m. The cellar was a hot spot for spirits. That might be Duke's problem. But this dumb website. The cellar was a hot spot for spirits, so the family avoided that space. Andrea told USA Today that she witnessed her mother become temporarily possessed, and their stories inspired the film The Conjuring. Oh, okay. Was that from the Ed and Lorraine Warren files?
Yes, that would be the one. Yeah.
Yeah. That's creepy. Oh, wow. Look at that photo. That's creepy. I think we could put that.
Oh, that's scary.
All right, I'm going to put this on screen. That's really, really disturbing. Now, it could just be a double take, but it really looks like 2 different people.
It does.
Yeah, even the head shapes don't really line up. But ladies and gentlemen, I'm talking about this image here, and I'm going to see if I can save it quick and put it on my desktop and then pull it open and put it out there for you guys to see. Oh my God. So basically I'll read what they say. When Scott McCabe took a photo of his niece holding a sparkler, he found a surprise in the background. McCabe's son, Nicholas, died several months earlier in a tornado, and he appears to stand behind his cousin in the photo. McCabe said, "I was in awe, and it touched my heart."
Oh.
That's a beautiful thing. Let's put this up so our viewers can witness it as well. So I'm going to go full screen on the monitor view, and ladies and gentlemen, here is the photo. So now the odd thing is there's one face that's flesh colored, and then there's the other one looks ghostly, but it sounds like the flesh colored one is actually the deceased son. Or am I not seeing that right?
No, I think you're right, because it looks like a little girl, and
Yeah.
her eyes are glowing for some weird reason.
Because she's got the sparkler, obviously. Yeah.
Sparkler. Is that what it is? Okay.
Yeah, but she's waving it
Oh,
quickly,
yeah, I
and
see,
it's
yeah,
got
yeah.
it's got the
That explains
long
that, yeah.
exposure because it's a night shot.
Right, and yeah, so that looks okay, but when you look at the, just up above on the left there, it's like, yeah, there's definitely some kind of spectral something there,
Right.
and it does look like an eyebrow. It almost looks like an overlay or an underlay, as opposed to a double exposure.
What I'm looking at here's the interesting thing. Now look
Yeah,
at the
it's-
eyebrows, and look at how far apart the eyebrows
yeah.
are up here.
Definitely not the same person.
Right. It looks like two very different people. And allegedly, according to the description, this is the ghost apparition that was captured.
Wow.
This is the little girl playing with a sparkler. I think that is a beautiful thing, right? So
Yeah,
if you're
it's scary
grieving,
as hell.
I mean, how devastating would that be to lose a child? I couldn't even imagine.
Yeah.
Being a father, there's that's the one terror that I experience in my life, is that I never want to bury my child. I don't know if I could live through it, to be honest with you. I think it would break my heart and I would die. But to be carrying that kind of grief, but then to see, again, we were talking yesterday about my father's, potentially visiting and making his presence known, and how healing that's been. And I imagine that this photograph probably is worth, more than all the gold in the world to this father and their family, because it just shows that maybe that person is still there. Maybe that loved one is still with them. So what a beautiful shot.
But that's a freaky photo.
It is. I mean, it is a little freaky. I think the little girl looks freakier than the boy, though.
But that's the problem.
Yeah, it's just like, I don't know. To me, that's an amazing shot, though. What do we got going on?
Got a call.
We do have a call, and this one's from North Dakota. All right. So 701, you're on the air.
Well, thank you for taking my
That's what
call.
I thought
Long-time
it was.
listener, long-time caller, long-time roller.
All right, rolling man, what's going on?
I guess I'm a holy roller.
If you
I don't know how many
insist.
holes you got, but
Right? Buckshot underwear.
ooh.
Anyway,
What's going on, brother? This is, ladies and gentlemen, this is Naysay, a good friend of ours, and
Definitely naysay.
longtime contributor to the show and guest many times, and co-hosted with me just a couple weeks ago.
yes, and it's always a humbling experience to be up late with Brent, even though we're not as late as we used to be.
God,
So
yeah.
I do get some sleep.
Right.
But as I talked a couple weeks ago, we were talking about the equinox.
Mm-hmm.
And ironically, after the equinox, what are we coming upon right now but the full moon?
Right.
And as I've shared many times with people, once we take the moments to recognize the greater cycles and try or attempt to become in synchronistic balance with those cycles, it's almost like you can predict the future. Since the greatest gift we have is pattern recognition,
Mm-hmm.
when you recognize the pattern, then you have a better guess of what's about to happen. And so with the phase of the cycle that we're on right now, Mother Earth going around the sphere flat globe,
Mm-hmm.
well, we're at that time of a new moon and the equinox right around the same period. So I would highly suggest, if you have implements of divination or tools that you use for different modalities of healing, to grab a blanket or a towel and run it outside and let the fresh moon brightness, the reflection of the heavenly sun. Because if you think about it, during the day, all of the electromagnetic waves from the sun will come and hit us.
Mm-hmm.
And then when the earth spins around, only those special electromagnetic waves that penetrate the earth hit us. But then we also get this other, as above, so below, the reflection of the heavenly sun bouncing off the moon and hitting us from above. So we're getting this double bump of energy from underneath us and from above.
Right.
And what a better time than to recognize those greater cycles, because we have the macro cycles and the micro cycles within us. And once you recognize that within love without fear, then you have no problems when people tell you they're a Wendigo.
Amen.
Do you mean tell you that they are a Wendigo or there are Wendigo?
Well, both.
Wow, that's,
Literally.
That's quite freaky, Naysay. You know, I have a problem with that. But it's interesting, yeah, because you charge in the daylight, in the sun. That's why people crave the spring and crave the summer. So we have that sun, but and also a lot of people charge their crystals and their rocks in the sun and in the moonlight. So it makes sense that you have to make yourself available for recharging in the moonlight as well. And that's why a lot of pagan rituals, non-Christian, I don't know how to say that, but a lot of them have night rituals on the full moon. So yeah, I think people forget that there's balance. You have to have that balance. I think I agree with you on that. So.
Mm-hmm.
Well, about the Wendigo.
Okay.
Now, according to my teachings, that the Wendigo is the absolute darkness of man, where man has given up on himself and is ready to go absolute into the darkness. And one of the things that they talk about is during the winter, when you have these individuals in their little communities and stuff, and if Mother Nature's cycle isn't as per usual, they may go through long periods of no food.
Mm-hmm.
And if they come to a prolonged period of no food, then there's many times in the history of a lot of indigenous people where all of a sudden you heard, Dahmer party of 7.
Right.
Right.
And that's where they talk about the Wendigo overcame the individual or possessed the individual. And I was talking recently with someone that, is it possible that we as silly humans need to believe in these evil entities, demons, or whatnot, semantics, because it is so hard to grasp the fact that we have such inhumanity towards each other.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. I agree.
And so we need these boogeymen, because it is very difficult to be like, really, you're another human and you're harming another human.
Right.
Yeah. Exactly. Wow.
But take the moments to synchronize and pass on your light to someone else, because it's always beneficial when you can illuminate yourself bright enough to be a beacon for others that are in the darkness. But always be fully consciously aware that when you illuminate brightly in the darkness, you also call the things that are in the darkness. So protect yourself. Use your modalities of protection: sage, cedar, sweet grass, salt water. There's many different modalities, and sit and meditate, and the answers will be within you. And whichever resonates with you, then I would suggest that is the one that you follow.
Mm-hmm.
And I appreciate you all and love you all, and my prayers are with you all as I am completing today my 6th day fast.
Oh.
And tomorrow I get to break my fast.
All right, brother.
And I'm really excited because I'm hungry.
As long as you don't go all Wendigo on us.
Yeah, no.
All right, brother.
Well, I guess I am a cannibal because I will be eating a turkey tomorrow.
Ah.
12-pound turkey.
You're going to eat the whole 12 pounds. All right on.
Well played, sir. Well, thank you so much for the call. It's great to hear from you, as always. I appreciate it.
Thank you, sir. Ape Gish Bimantazi Wewe and Toodles.
See you, Naysay.
Very cool. And I saw Duke called in again, but then his call dropped again. I don't know. I wish he could call. Duke, call us. Want to hear from you. Can't wait to hear about some googway.
Yeah, definitely got to hear about that.
Doesn't that sound like a recipe?
A googway? You know,
I made up a fresh batch of googway.
Oh, there he is. Get him. He's on the phone.
Oh, good. Well, let's
get him.
Mr. Duke, welcome to the show.
I love this phone line.
I do too. Are you there?
Yeah.
Oh, we finally got you. And you're loud and clear.
Yeah, that's because I had to move everything into the other room. You can't get any phone signal over in my office where my computer is, and that's the only place the report is. So I had to actually literally move my computer to a different room. Like that.
That's what Wes said, is that you couldn't get any reception in the Batcave.
No, there's no phone reception down there.
Okay. So tell us about these Google. That's interesting. Uh-oh.
Read it quick because I'm down to about 12% on my phone here, and that's going to die too.
Oh.
Okay.
So what we got here is this is up in Alberta, Canada. Location is near the Rocky Mountain House. Date July 23rd, 2004. Time early evening. Occurrence of vocalizations and sighting on property.
Ooh.
A man on a property west of the town of Rocky Mountain House reported that he began to hear roaring sounds in the forest that surrounded his property. He described them as the roar of a lion, but much, much louder. So loud he not only heard them, but he felt them as well.
Ooh.
At first they seemed to be coming from a good distance away, but steadily became louder and louder as the main sound drew closer to it. He said the sounds both terrified and mesmerized him, kind of like he was having a nightmare.
Yeah.
This made him even more fearful, as he had never experienced anything like this before. He said that he decided to go outside to see if he could spot the maker of the sounds, but before he did this, he armed himself with a rifle. He didn't specify what type or caliber it was. One thing he said is that the entire time he felt a lingering sense of dread and couldn't explain why. Once he was outside, he spotted a very large bipedal creature standing on just the other side of the barbed wire fence that separates his property from the government land. He estimated its height as 9.5 to 10 feet.
Oh, my God.
But what really sent him into shock was the creature's face. His exact words were, quote, "It was like somebody cut off a bear's head and plunked it onto a giant ape thing's shoulders.
Oh, wow.
I've always been open to the idea that Bigfoot existed, but I didn't think it looked like this. This wasn't normal. It felt like it didn't belong here or anywhere for that matter," unquote. He didn't even consider the idea of shooting it. In fact, he said he almost forgot that the rifle was in his hands. After looking at it for a short time, about 15 to 20 seconds, the creature made a grumbling sound and crashed back into the forest. He heard the roaring vocalization twice more. Both seemed to come from further distance away, showing him that the creature was moving away from his property.
Oh, my God. Oh, what a heart stopper.
Oh, God.
Oh, yeah, he got some more details from the guy. 9.5 feet tall, hair color, rust red. Estimate the creature's shoulder width at 5 to 6 feet.
Oh, my God.
Head was a definite snout or muzzle. He saw teeth when the creature vocalized. He said that the teeth were, quote, "those of a true predator," unquote. So
No,
there's your...
there were no flattened teeth in that mouth. In other words, they were all sharp, huh?
No, no giant teeth.
Wow.
That is insane.
That is insane. That's terrifying.
Yeah, definitely.
And yeah, the gentleman assures me that there's been this one area up there where a bunch of reports have been coming out that he's going and looking into now. It's been going on for 70 years. People have been reporting.
Uh-oh. Connection's glitching again. Wow.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. It just kind of did the wavering thing again, but it looks like you're still with us. Good.
So anyway, his assumption is that people have just been ignoring these reports because the description doesn't match with Bigfoot, so they figure it's misidentification. So nobody's paying any attention to it. And then he just found out about Gugwies not very long ago and went, oh, wait, that matches the description of these things I'm thinking about, and went back and took another look at it.
Oh, wow.
Wow. At least the thing turned around and left. It didn't look at him and go, oh, there's a snack.
Yeah, yum food. Well, I looked at him and went, oh, rifle. Not worth it.
Right,
I
right.
don't
That's
feel
true.
like getting stung.
That's a good point.
Hey,
Yeah.
so when you were when he
and
was
it's like,
Go
he
ahead.
didn't specify how big the caliber of the gun was. For all we know, he had an elephant gun. Maybe the thing took a look at it and went, no way.
Yeah. Hey, so he reported that he was terrified, in spot, both mesmerized and terrified. Infrasound?
Yeah, it kind of makes you wonder, but apparently the critter was a long ways away at that point, which would make you think that it probably wouldn't be that. You would expect, infrasound effects would be closer ranged.
Okay.
So, no volume, and, like he was saying, it was like vibrating his body physically, how far away it was when it was doing that.
Right.
Right.
I mean, the report is specific, like doing it the whole time, every time you heard it vocalized. I don't know.
Wow.
That's amazing. Wow. Well, thank God I'm left.
But not to, yeah.
Go
There'll be more Gugly reports coming in here, so when I get a chance, I'll pop in and share one with you guys and let you know about the Ken's problem.
Yeah, I'd say that's exciting, but I think it'd be more scary than anything hearing more about him. So,
Right.
Yeah.
And ladies and gentlemen, if you want
Well, I'm interested in collecting the reports on it just because it's, nobody's been paying any attention until recently, so it's nice to actually have somebody collect the dang reports and start correlating information on these guys and trying to figure out how to pattern them.
Wow, no kidding. Yeah, they're their own deal, I guess. But it was solitary again. That wasn't a family group. It was just solitary, and that's what you said. They seem to be solitary creatures. Yep. Yeah, very interesting.
Yeah, you just generally, man, like the reports, I can't even think of reports where anybody ever sees more than one of them at a time.
Thank God.
And that, it doesn't necessarily mean they're not in groups or something. It's just like maybe they're only seeing one that's out scouting and doing reconnaissance or something, and that's all people ever see.
Yeah, good point. Wow. That is so terrifying.
Especially when it's right on your property. I mean, that's like, the show I just turned out with Cindy. Here's the dang thing right on her property.
I was just going to come to
that. Let's go record some kind of weird cryptid. We'll put a recorder outside. That's creepy.
Yeah, it is. Wow. That was my ghost app.
So,
it was going off.
And as you were just getting on the phone, Cindy said, "Hey, I'm outside right now." I'm like, "No, go back inside." No, it's a full moon. What are you doing?
No, we were just talking about that earlier today, and now that there's been the time changeover,
right.
She's forgetting like what time exactly to be outside to try and record them in the morning.
Yeah. I listened to that. She sent us a couple small snippets of some of the things she's picked up, but I was listening to your show, and those are creepy. I don't want to have. She's only 50 miles from us, and I don't want those kind of neighbors. Just don't want them. No, it's okay. Thanks.
Yeah. Well, don't let them know where you are. I mean, because that's like hiking distance. They could be to visit you in a day or two.
Not hiking distance. It's a day trip. They're taking a staycation over at Don's house.
That's a beer run.
Yeah, no doubt.
Exactly. Just take a weekend vacation, come down and visit the portal.
Oh my God, that's hilarious. But yeah, I mean, anytime you want to participate, brother, we're always happy to hear from you, and thank you so much. You are you bring so much to the show every time, so I love it.
Yeah, feel free to use this as an outlet. We know you've got your own show, but we love you calling in.
Ask me on my report stuff that it's like not even Bigfoot related. We never.
Yeah, well, that'll fit right in.
I can share that kind of stuff with you guys.
Oh, yeah,
absolutely.
Perfect.
It fits right in, and we're happy to get to you. I just love hearing the stories myself, but I'm really pleased that you choose the portal to share them with, because it definitely falls into our wheelhouse, because we don't really have any borders on this ship.
Yeah, yeah, and you got a good audience there. You got the
Yeah.
open-minded. We want to hear the story. Tell us the story. That's
Right.
the audience that I like.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we got the greatest people hanging out and taking part in the shows, so we're very fortunate. But ladies and gentlemen, if you want to hear more from Duke, definitely check out his World Bigfoot Radio, and it's under Brian Singer or Brian Sullivan. Wow, it's like
You're butchering names today.
My tongue just totally did an aneurysm in my mouth there. Brian Sullivan on YouTube, and that's the World Bigfoot radio channel.
Yep.
And you can see hundreds of episodes and amazing episodes and interviews and information. It's just all there. So definitely check it out if you're not already familiar with it. And of course, as a side note, we were referring to Wes here in the chat room, and that's Sasquatch Chronicles, and he's kind of the Pope of the Bigfoot world, and we're being blessed by his presence. So
Excellent.
you guys are great. Thank you so much for being here, brother.
You're very welcome. I'm going to get it going here now. But yeah, you're right about Wes. He's got the best Bigfoot show out there. He's the king of the archivists. He's heard more Bigfoot stories from the witnesses than probably anyone.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're in good company. Thank you, brother, for helping to raise our bar.
Yes, absolutely.
All right, you guys. Well, I'm going to get going here, and then I can actually go watch this really cool Paranormal Portal show that's on right now that I'm missing.
All right. Well, don't want to keep you.
Thanks, bud.
Take care.
Got to go.
All right. See ya.
All right, go charge that phone. Go charge that phone.
Very cool. I just love the participation. That's the best.
That's just creepy. I mean, and especially with Cindy coming out and saying, "Hey, we might have some DMs around here." I don't want to hear that.
Well, I believe that they're kind of around waterways. That's what we heard from Linda Godfrey, is that the dogmen definitely travel, along waterways. If there's waterways around, there's very possibly dogmen around, and Lake Pend Oreille is no small pond.
It's one of the top 5 largest, deepest ponds in the world.
A pond. It's a lake, but yeah.
Oh, did I say pond?
You did.
Yeah, I know what I mean.
So Don, how would you process that? You're standing on your porch, and suddenly there's a bunch of really loud lion growls coming. Something appears out of the shadows that's about 9 or 10 feet tall and has a shoulder spread of about 6 feet. Do you realize the amount of muscle in that? I can't even fathom the strength that we're dealing with.
That'd be crazy.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, and it's not my place to tell it, and I certainly won't try, but if you really want to hear an amazing encounter, definitely check out Sasquatch Chronicles and listen to Wes's own encounter. It was he and his brother Woody had the most phenomenal up close and personal experience with some Bigfoot, and I remember listening to it for the first time, and I was just like, my heart was thumping as he was telling the story of what they experienced and all of the sensations and stuff. And I mean, seriously, it was amazing. So let's get to the call board. We got an anonymous call, but let's see who's calling. Welcome to the show. Hello.
What's happening, fellas?
Oh, you're kidding.
How's it going, guys?
Oh, it's great to hear from you, brother. Thank you so much for calling in.
Yeah, it's good to hear from you guys. I wanted to, not to diminish all the good words everyone's saying. You guys want to know where the types come from?
Yes,
tell
please.
us.
Yes.
I probably shouldn't tell the story. So I was drinking one night with Woody, and I said, I think there's more than just one type of these things out running around. I said, I get weird descriptions. I mean, sometimes people say monkey, sometimes they say more human, sometimes they say like a baboon. And I don't know what to make of this. There has to be more than one type of these things.
Right,
so I said, I think there's 4 types, which was delusional at the time, because there could be 8 types, there could be 20 types. Sure. Who really knows? But it was my way of kind of breaking it up. And I had told my co-host I probably should leave that part of the story out. Anyway, other people ran with it. And so the Bigfoot world kind of took off with type 1, type 2, type 3. I think Duke's about the only one that put together something halfway decent for us to look at. But that's the that's how the types came about. I laugh when I hear, outside of Duke, of course, but I hear other guys say, "Well, it sounds like a type 3. That sounds like a type 2." And I remember thinking, like, I was 3 sheets to the wind when I came up with that theory. It's just a theory, not biblical. There's nothing. So it makes me laugh when I hear it now, because I'm thinking if people only knew,
That's incredible.
But that's the story of the Tales.
Well,
and if you get a chance, check the Deer Woman. Do you guys have a quick minute? I'll tell you a story.
Oh, man, all the time you want, brother.
There was, I had a truck driver on, and I love truck drivers because they always have weird stories. They always have, they'll tell you some of the weirdest things you've ever heard.
Yeah.
So this guy goes telling me his whole Bigfoot story, and I said, what's the weirdest thing you've ever seen out truck driving? Now, I didn't know what his answer was going to be. It's not like we talked about that before the air.
Sure.
And he starts telling me this story about how he was out late one night. He was coming around this bend, and he had to slow down. He had to really downshift. As he's coming around the corner, he sees a deer in the middle of the road. Mm-hmm. So he almost comes to a full stop because he doesn't want to hit it.
Right.
And then he says, "You know what? It stood up and turned around and looked at me, and it was a woman. No. She had black eyes. There was no whites to her eyes. One thing he didn't really say on the air and he didn't want to go into was she was naked. Oh. And he said, she was very easy to look at, except for the black eyes part and being half deer. Other than that, she was a good-looking woman. And so he passes by her at like 5 miles an hour, and she has this look in her eyes like, I've been waiting for you. I've been expecting.
Oh, wow.
And he just kept driving. He said, and she just walked down the road like she's going back for the milk. And he didn't know what to make of it. And I thought, this is bizarre. I've never heard such a thing. Yeah. But I'm going to air it anyway. So I threw it up on the show. And all these Native Americans started contacting me, telling me everything I want to know about the Deer Woman. And so that's why I was curious if you guys had heard of it. That's why sorry to bring up something an hour later. But I was curious if you guys ever heard of anything like that, or anyone's told you something like that.
I never have, but I know that, of course, we hear the stories of skinwalkers and things like that, and so the whole idea of people metamorphosizing or whatever the hell the word is into something animalistic is, it's certainly not a new concept, but I've not heard of the Deer Woman per se, so that's a new one for me.
Yeah, well, I thought I'd bring it up to you guys. I don't want to take it to the show. I'm sure there's other better people calling in, but I thought I'd give you a call and run past the type story and the Deer Woman story.
That is great that it's like a drunk story. That's awesome.
It's like the Beatles doing Sgt. Pepper's, I think they had some sheets to the window during that old deal too.
Totally. Now when someone tells you, it was type 1, type 2, type 3, you can tell them, I know where that comes from. I know of a guy that was hammered in Washington, and he came up with this crazy idea. You know what I mean?
That's awesome. Man, that is
awesome.
Really cool. Thank you, brother, for calling in and being a part of the show. Again, I'm a big fan, and it's a real honor to hear from you.
Absolutely. Thank you, sir.
Thanks, guys.
All right. Good night.
That is just amazing. That's an amazing story.
That is so cool. I did not know that. That is awesome, though. Oh, wow.
Just to think it was a drunk camp.
It's just like, hey, you know what? I think there's something to this. The next thing you know, it's like all over the internet. Really?
I know how that is. That's what you get for, blogging drunk.
but it does make sense, though, right? Because there are so many physical disparities.
Around, yeah.
That a type system makes perfect sense, but... again, it's funny when inspiration hits. It's like you don't always have to be sober for it.
Yeah, no doubt.
So very cool.
So I pulled this up real quick. It says, in an old Cherokee legend, people and animals could communicate long ago. Things went well as long as the people only harvested animals they needed for food, of course. Mm-hmm. But when they get greedy, and they start killing for no reason, then that's the issue. Mm-hmm. When they start killing indiscriminately, rebel. Finally, Awi Usidi, Little Deer, and the leader of his people met with the hunters and told them from that point onward they had to perform a ceremony before their hunts, asking the animals permission to kill them. Then the hunters must ask for forgiveness, of course. And the deer woman story. Oh, I'm sorry, I missed it. The deer woman story. Here we go. As the horned woman, and said in the southeastern tribes of the United States, the Cherokee, the Muskogee, the Seminole, and the Choctaw, the legend is pretty much the same. She mentions that the Dakota and the Lakota tribes have stories about deer women, but they're different. So apparently there's two different sets of tribes and peoples that believe separate things about them. The story of the Southeast tribes primarily warn against marrying someone who is not approved by a family or one's family and society. The society felt that arranged marriages ensure the survival of the culture and the propagation of the people. The main story revolves around a young man. So this is deer. Now this is deer men and deer women.
Oh, deer men. Okay.
The main story revolves around a young man who is seduced by a beautiful young woman, and he leaves home and family for her and tribe for her. If he continues to be with this young woman, he will fall deeply under her spell and stay with her, which ultimately results in depression, despair, prostitution, and death. The only way to discover the real identity of the enchantress is to look at her feet. If she's a deer woman, her feet will be hooves, knowing that should break the spell. Oh, okay. So if you're enchanted by this woman, look at her feet, and it will break the spell because you will realize that she's a deer woman.
Okay.
Her tales or narratives. She teaches us that the misuse of sexual power is a transgression that will end in madness and death. The only way to save oneself from the magic of the deer woman is to look at her feet and see her hooves and recognize her for what she is. Deer woman instructs us that sexual attraction does not a proper marriage make. It's a societal and cultural responsibility of each tribe member to choose and mate wisely, therefore ensuring the tribe's survival into the next generation. So there's a whole lot more, but I think that's a good spot to leave it. But that's interesting.
Now here's something that I've noticed, and I don't mean ever to disparage the culture of another people's, but I see this coming up so much in these stories and in these dialogues when we research these different creatures. The First Nations seem to, and I'm just saying seem to, because this is an outside perspective looking in, but they seem to create a moral code around these symbols that not meaning symbols that didn't exist, but like, for instance, the deer woman. She is a symbol for impropriety and such. So, you got to wonder which came first. Did the legend and the parable come first and then created a reality, or did they base this legend and parable on an existing creature that they had seen? So, like, as Wes related in that call, the truck driver saw this woman, this deer woman, and she seemed beautiful. I mean, she was very easy to look at, and of course, so for people, if this was commonly known to the First Nation tribes, they would probably build, a moral around it, like, stay away from that because this is what it represents and this is what it means. You know what I mean? Yeah, and the same thing with the Wendigo. It's, talking about, greed and coveting and, having to consume. The Wendigo is as a haunting spirit or as a possessing spirit. They basically have to keep eating and eating and eating. And so it seems to address like greed and gluttony and all of that. And then it seems like so many of these creatures have a moral built around them that created their pantheon of beliefs. Does that make sense to you? Or
they embody certain.
Right. So did they see these creatures and come up with what that represented to their tribe and to their belief system? Right. Did they create belief around
or was it a manifestation of a belief that they were
that's
holding to?
Yeah, that of
Either
course
way,
would be
both ways,
the real metaphysical question, which came first, the belief or the symbol? And it's hard to know, but you know, because if we are creator beings, you know, can we create things? But
that's way interesting, you know. And Wes said that she said to him, or did she say to him, "I've been waiting for you"?
No, the look was like
Oh,
as
the
if
look
to
was,
say, "Hey,
oh.
well, if you're finally here, I've been waiting." You know, and
it sounds like a siren to me.
yeah, exactly. You know, that's a good point. Is this a North American representation of sirens? You know, of a siren as the Greek soldiers or the Greek Navy would encounter these alluring you know presences that seem to make them lose their mind and crash their ships. You know, so. You know, I don't know. It just occurred to me as we were talking about this. It's like so many creatures. The Janasqua, which is a term for the Bigfoot in the Pacific Northwest tribes, or a specific tribe anyway. As I understand it, and I actually understand it from a guest that was on Sasquatch Chronicles, but his name is Tom, and he does Himumu or something. He does these tours and stuff, and he's really, really interesting guy. And I can't remember his last name to save my life, but he talks about the Janasqua, and the legend was that it was used to keep children behaving because you don't want to be out after dark, or the Janasqua might get you. And you keep seeing these stories built around these beings, and I don't know if they're based on the fact that they happened and that's how they became part of it, or if they were just used to embody that morality. I don't know. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's kind of like Santa Claus is used
more like the elf on the shelf.
Well, right, but Santa Claus is used to keep kids behaving. You know. Oh, we got another call here. Let's get to this, and this is 807. You're on the air.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Hello?
Yes. I'd like to chime in about what do you call that? The Wendigo.
Yeah, the Wendigo. Yeah.
Its other name is called. Well, other name is called the old disco.
I'm sorry, it's really hard to hear you. It's like a distortion on the line. I do apologize, but could you repeat that?
The name of the beast is called the old disco. It's different from the Sasquatch and the other fellow that Duke hasn't called many years back. It's a different entity.
Okay. It's a different entity?
From what I can remember, it was once a man, mostly it was a man, either a trapper or one of those locals, in North.
I really can't make it out. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's breaking up pretty badly, but I believe the because I was just looking it up. OG Jishku.
Okay.
Yeah.
OG
yeah.
Jishku.
Okay. So yeah. I didn't really get into it too much, but go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
All right. Anyways, from what I can remember, what has been told to me by my grandfather and some elders, is that it becomes when a person transforms into that being, he gets what's from hunger.
From hunger.
From hunger, he gets what's the term called? I can't remember. He gets a little dizzy from being starvation. So starts biting off his lips, his hands, ripping skin from his torso, and eating.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's instead. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead. Keep going.
Okay.
I'm trying to hear what you're saying. I think I'm getting pieces of it now.
It's instead its origins usually a trapper or a warrior that is caught in a snowstorm or lost somewhere.
Okay. Wow.
It's been said that when Jishkwito will make a appearance when there's strife and chaos, or those translated when there's war going on and starvation.
Oh.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
Now, do you mean famine and starvation for the people or for the creature itself?
Or for the people.
For the people. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That
It said that you cannot kill that which is scripture, aka the Wendigo.
Okay.
Only a shaman or a sorcerer can kill this or vanquish this.
Mm.
Because it's a supernatural spirit, right?
I think it's probably occupied body, I think. And I think I don't know. I'm having a brain fart.
Huh. Well, that's really interesting.
Yeah. It's basically, I think it's a supernatural creature as well.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Since it's man or possessed by demonic entities.
Sure.
Yeah.
That is amazing.
But from what I can remember is that you cannot kill Wendigo.
Okay.
So they have to be banished by a magic user or a shaman. Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Or by a man of God.
Mm-hmm.
God.
Sure.
Okay. So it has to be dealt with spiritually. It can't be dealt with physically.
Yeah.
Okay.
Only that has to be a skilled shaman or sorcerer or a man that has proven heart to him. You know, a Christian, a follower of God to him. That's how he judges.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Wow.
That's
scary.
That's really terrifying. Yeah, that's horrible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One day, a few years back, I heard this from one of my father, from one of my uncles.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
And he saw some scared. He sounded a blanket, afraid of something was in the outskirts of town. But from what I've heard is that there was someone that almost came to our town. That was experienced darkness.
Wow. Jeez.
Yeah.
Man, that kind of stuff makes you not want to go outside, yeah?
Yeah. Basically, just from I can remember that. I don't know if it's I don't know if I can remember quickly. It says here when when you see a distance, it looks like a person there, but when it comes closer, you start to feel weak and pure terror. Start falling inside you. That's when you drop to the ground.
Mm-hmm.
And realize that's someone.
Wow.
That is crazy. Yeah. So they have a presence to them as well. Just makes you feel weak and yeah, that's horrible.
And it's a pure terror.
Yeah.
As a repetition, being destructive. Well, to cabins. And cabins are smaller back then. Well, basically, cabins are basically a little shit. Like a shit back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
That is amazing. Oof. Well, thank you so much for sharing your knowledge with us. I appreciate that a whole bunch.
Yeah, I think I get some good morning. Good morning. It usually, tears a person apart while still alive with past time, didn't it?
That'd be absolutely horrible.
Or almost dead. Just eat them off. Just rip the limbs off them and eat. Oh, yeah. Plus, they don't like the lake, bright lights. Also, they can throw, you know how you hear about Bigfoot throwing rocks and projectiles from a great distance and hitting its target?
Yes. Yep.
Old scripture does the same thing. He just tosses them, hurls a projectile at you, either kill you or incapacitate you.
Oh man! So they can even get you from far away.
Yeah.
Oy.
Uh-huh.
Wow. Well, thank you so
I
much.
think they might. Sorry. Anytime.
Okay.
Sorry.
All right. Have a.
Sorry.
I'm sorry. I'm having such a hard time hearing you, but I do really appreciate you taking the time to share that with us and to share that information with us. That it's wonderful, and thank you so much for being part of the show.
Yeah, thanks. Anytime.
All right. Have a good
Absolutely.
night.
Now,
Yeah.
if I'm right, that was Barry from the chat room. And
Oh, okay.
Strindu, I think, is another name. I think it was Duke that pointed that out. The Strindu.
Strindu. Okay.
So I'm kind of working on some of that too. So
Right. Yeah, I just wish that connection was better. It was just so distorted. It was hard to hear, and I don't, it's clearly not his fault or ours. It's just
I guess he's way up north.
way up there, yeah.
So,
And Duke is right next door, and he's having trouble connecting, and so it's even tougher for people that are way up north. But thank you so much for sharing that. I think that's just so amazing, and it's so terrifying too, that those things are out there, and that these legends persist because there's some grounds for it. I mean,
there's something out there doing. Yeah, there's
Right.
always truth in the myth somewhere.
right, exactly. Yeah. Well, thank you, Barry. I appreciate it. And I'm so sorry that I couldn't hear you better, because I would have loved to have gotten every word of that, but I did catch a bit of it, and I do understand what you're saying. But thank you so much for calling in. That's really cool. Unfortunately, it's just tough when it's hard to understand everything.
Right. Yeah.
So,
But that's kind of awesome, because we can look into more of that, and we can also ask Mr. Duke about that, because he knows what he was talking about, so we can get some clarification that way as well. So
yeah, exactly.
Excellent.
But I think that's about the show, right?
I think we are. Yeah, 8:56 according to my computer, and we know my computer's always correct.
Well, yeah.
When it's working.
Yeah.
It's not quite the Frankentop.
Not quite the Frankentop, but it's probably its close cousin.
It's more likely a student of Hogwarts that disapparates
Yeah, exactly. Well, I think,
diagonally.
yeah, diagonally. Yeah, sure. See where you end up.
Exactly.
You might end up in the freezer. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Well, thank you so much, and thank you to the callers tonight. It was great. A special thanks to Wes. I appreciate you calling in. It's just an honor.
He fanboyed.
Yeah, he's fanboyed. I'm fanboying totally. It's
That's
just
what
like,
That's what I meant. Was
okay,
you
all
were
right.
fanboying.
Well, you said he. I didn't. Yeah. Anyway, and thank you, Duke, for sharing that Google Way report. Very cool. And thank you, Naysay, for calling in, and Jess. And it's just really cool to have this phone line now, because there's no degrees of separation anymore. There's always a way to contact us. So
Nice.
unless you call at night, and of course the show's not on, then I'm not going to answer.
Yeah, no
But
doubt.
other than that, thank you guys for being here. Don, anything in closing?
No, but apparently it would be a good idea to sleep with the Himalayan salt lamp on tonight because of Mercury in retrograde.
Oh, well, actually, I carry Tiger's Eye with me, and
Okay.
Tiger's Eye stone is supposed to be good for the retrogrades. So if you are into stones or believe in that kind of stuff, find yourself a Tiger's Eye and keep it in your pocket or on your person, because it's supposed to help with that skewed energy. And I don't claim to know much about it, but I was told that. So
I feel a lot of skewed energy. It's been that way. This has been one week from hell. That's for sure.
here's to 2019. That's all I got to say.
Hopefully 2020 will clear the vision.
Yeah, I don't know. But hopefully, I guess. Anyway, guys, love you all. Be good, be kind, be nice. Take care of each other. Help each other out. And find the magic in every day and laugh as much as you can. I'll be back tomorrow for the bedtime stories. And then Friday night, I'm not sure what's going on yet. I'll cook up something. But then Don will be joining me again on Saturday. Oh, no, you know what? Friday night? Yeah, of course I know what's going on.
Wait, that's
Deb is joining me.
Yeah.
Deb, our wonderful Paranormal Portal psychic, Deborah Varner, will be joining us on Friday night, and we will be doing call-in readings for callers to the show. Now, definitely pay attention to the new phone number, because that's how you're going to need to connect. but really looking forward to it. So that'll be Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific time here on YouTube or on tfrlive.com if you're listening on the network. So, but it should be a great show. It's been really fantastic. So spread the word. Free psychic readings on Friday. So
call early, hold the line.
Call early and hold the line. Yeah, I mean that we're gonna flex this new call board and see how well it does. That'll
Put it through its paces.
Yeah, exactly.
Work out
because last time Deb was on the call board, the old call board was just baked. I mean, it did fine, but I mean, it was lit up all from top to bottom.
Yep.
Every slot was taken. So we'll see what goes on Friday night, but definitely. I hope you guys will take advantage of it because Deb does a wonderful job. So,
hit the like, subscribe, share, tell your friends, tell your enemies.
Yeah,
I think he was about to say that.
If you love the show, tell your friends. If you hate the show, tell your enemies. That's an old Dave Mustaine line from Megadeth.
That's true. Yes.
Yeah. All right, guys. We'll talk to you soon, and I'll be back again tomorrow night. So, have a good night and sweet dreams.
Good night.
Woo!